hello. How are you today? Happy Sunday. I'm so excited to be back here. Guys, I can't believe that we have been consistent with this Sunday live session. Even me, I'm pinching myself like, are you for real? And I'm so thankful that it is live and we are here like every Sunday, except a few that we missed in the past due to network and some other issues. But I'm so excited that like we're showing up every single Sunday. You guys are showing up as well. So thank you so much. You are welcome to the Grace Generation TV. If this is your first time, this is family, this is home. And on this channel, we talk about love, relationship, marriage, but most importantly, how to do all of these things according to God's way. Whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, you're engaged, you're married, whether you're in a difficult time in your marriage, whatever season that you are in, we are devoted on this channel to teach you to see through those moments, most importantly, God's way. Because we believe that the best way to do a thing is the way that the manufacturer has ordered or explained that we should do that thing. And we are giving you the right skills, we are giving you the right knowledge and things that you need. And on the last Sunday of every month, we balance it up with prayers because that balance is important. So as we teach during the first 3 or 4 Sundays in a month, we balance it up with prayer on the last one so that there is that oneness, and we know that God is with us and God is in whatever situation that we are in. And that's what we are doing again today. I'm so excited. This is another Sunday. So glad to be here. Today we are going to be talking about something so interesting, a topic you probably won't even think that we'll talk about, because it's like, why are we talking about this? Someone was asking me what it meant, and I was like, I know, right? It sounds really weird, like, but we have to talk about it because these are daily issues people go through. Some people don't even know what it is, and they are going through that thing. And if you don't know what it is, there's no how you're going to be able to find the perfect solution to whatever it is you're going through. If you don't know the problem you have, you cannot find the solution to it. And that's what we're going to be helping with today. If you have not checked my previous videos, you need to. We talk about juicy, helpful topics every Sunday and even during the week. So do well to check. I'm sure that by God's grace, you are not going to live the same way that you came. You either learn something new or you'll be reminded of something you've always known. But most importantly, you'll be encouraged to put them into practice. Today, I have with me an amazing guest. I'm so excited. This is our first time on the channel. And I feel like I should have brought wine and everything in this place so I can put it on for her to receive via the screen.
You're not nice. How can you give me virtual wine?
I
Fear
am
God
so
now.
excited that you are here. Please welcome with me the one and only. The one and only. You guys, we call her Minister Lisa. So I am so excited.
I'm blushing right now.
I am
I'm
so
blushing.
excited that she's here with us today. Minister Lisa, you are welcome.
Everyone for having me. We're going
Welcome.
to the
Can you hear
topic
me?
imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I
I
had
was
to
saying
switch
thank
my
you so
network.
much for having. Oh,
Thank
okay.
you.
We're going into the topic imposter syndrome, and I wanted to
Yes.
copy and paste the definition of imposter in my chat.
Oh,
The imposter is a person who pretends to be someone else in order to deceive others, especially for fraudulent gain. So we find 3 things. They pretend to other people, 4 things actually. They pretend to other
yeah.
people. The reason they pretend to other people is to deceive them. And the 4th thing is for gain. The first time I heard the terminology imposter syndrome, I was serving someone who her appearance at your event, the first prize we give you is 5 million. She's not broke. And when I say her appearance fee was 5 million, it's not 2023 5 million. This was like 5 or 6 years back.
Whoa.
I'm trying to say this person is elite, not in a
Mm.
social class way, in a professional way. And
Mm.
then I hear someone like that use the term imposter syndrome, that she used to feel like the elephant in the room and she didn't
Mm.
like it. So her sister told her what she was experiencing was called imposter syndrome. Me, my early 20s, I was thinking, what is imposter syndrome? If someone like
Right.
this, if someone like this who makes X amount of money shows up, I mean, this person is global standard. All of the
Mm.
major events that have to do with Nigerians abroad, you will find her there. And then this person has imposter syndrome. So I figured if this, and it's not just in terms of finances, in terms of age. I was in my early
Yeah.
20s and this person was in their early 50s.
Oh.
So by every standard, she was worth listening to.
Mm.
I remember leaving that event and going to search what is imposter syndrome. After reading up some of the basic definitions over the years, I've had to study it. I realized I feel this way sometimes. I don't feel
Yeah.
that way a lot of the times
Mm.
because I had set a goal when I was a teenager, I think 18 or 19 thereabouts, that there will be nothing about me outside that will not be me inside.
Mm.
That was an old goal. So I hardly felt like I was fake, but I
Mm.
used to feel like I was undeserving.
Mm.
And I
Mm.
know we've all been in that place where we felt like, oh, I'm unworthy of this thing because, or you come into a place and they're like, make welcome, the one and only Tosin Sanusi, the clinical of grace. You know, they found that grace generation, this, that, and you're like, I beg, this thing is not that deep. Why do
Right.
you feel it's not that deep when you spend 80 hours of your week fixing
Mm.
something on your website, fixing something in your profile, fixing something about the brand, making sure the social media looks right, making sure your videos come out? You put in the work,
Yeah.
but for some reason, when people begin to celebrate the work, you feel like what they're celebrating is a fraud.
Mm.
Like it's not that real, but it
Yes,
is
it's
that
so
real.
real.
You,
True.
yeah, but it is that real.
It is,
You
yeah.
see, you come up and you have opportunities and you start to tell yourself, this opportunity, if I go there, my CV is not as heavy as what they're looking for. This professionally for me and financially, it was COVID that broke it for me.
Mm.
Because as at the time COVID happened, I was looking to go study abroad and I was crazy about neuroscience at the time. I had not found out that there were alternative means into the areas I wanted to walk into academically. And so I was really obsessed with where I could do neuroscience. There's a neuroscience facility in South Africa. I applied as an intern. There's a school in Russia that had neuroscience at a
Mhm.
crazy amount that US and UK cannot even relate with. In
Mm.
2020, the school fee was just 1 million to study
Wow.
neuroscience. Whereas
Wow.
that same course in US was about, give and take, about 15 million.
Jeez.
So I wanted to go to Russia. I had applied to Russia, but in the midst of all my applications, I saw this job in Uganda, and it was in sexual and reproductive health. So I figured, damn, I might as well apply.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and started checking the details. Usual me, I will go straight down. Responsibilities don't scare me. One,
Mm-hmm.
because I have always been in a position of I can't remember a time in my life when someone was so entrusting responsibility to me. Responsibilities feel normal, but benefits felt wrong.
Mm.
So I looked through this job, I looked at the responsibilities, like, oh, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. Then I scrolled down to qualification and I had every single thing they were requesting for. At the time, the salary for this job was a minimum of 700,000 naira to a million naira. Mind you, I was still charging people 30,000 naira.
Hmm.
It was as if somebody did, you know, when they do that shock in the hospital. When you decide you're about to die and they say, no, you must get resuscitated. I had that shock effect go through my brain. Like, what? I am what, a millionaire on this
Imagine.
same continent in a country that their economy was not even as strong as Nigeria's economy, mind you. Ugandan shilling beside Nigerian naira in 2020 was like Nigerian naira beside American dollar.
Hmm.
The margin is that far. Yet in Uganda, there was a job that was going to pay me in Nigerian naira. Like I converted the money to Nigerian naira, and it was 700K to a million naira. And I
Wow.
thought, why did I always feel like I did not deserve positions like this?
Hmm.
How come I never applied for things like this? I'll go back to that definition again. It
Hmm.
says a person who pretends to be something they are not. Imposter syndrome doesn't happen to everybody. It usually happens. Oh, am I out?
No, I can hear you.
Okay. Imposter syndrome usually happens to high performers.
Yeah.
High performers are usually the ones who feel that way. The first, I wanted to go to the first part, a person who pretends to be someone else. High performers have to show up in a way. There's a way they program themselves to show up. Okay, backup activated. Hold on, just give me.
It's
Yeah,
alright.
I had it. I was set up to use my backups and then they brought lights and gave me false hope.
Okay. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I got rechargeable bulbs for my.
Oh, that's good. Because that light, that stability,
During the period when we launched Audacity Nation, the lights went bad for the first 7 weeks after we launched Audacity.
I
I
saw
almost
it
ran
on your
mad.
the first launch you did. You had to do it without. I watched it.
I almost ran mad. I
I can't
almost ran mad. It took us how many months to prepare for launch, and the day of the launch, they took the lights. I was buttoning my shirts to sit down. I had snapped the sets, and they took the lights. And that was the beginning of 7 weeks of bad light, or 12 or 9 weeks.
Wow.
And I was still doing IG live every Thursday.
I joined a
Okay.
few. You mentioned it. Yeah, I remember.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to how high performers feel they have to show up a certain way. A lot of high performers have programmed themselves almost to be perfectionists.
Mm.
And so by the time they're not hitting all of the goals and all the targets and all the 1 million rules and regulation they give themselves, if they still end up getting what they were aiming for, they start to question if they deserved it, if
Mm.
someone else should have gotten it. Did they do something fraudulent? Did people really see? Did people see me? Are they sure they knew what they did? This me who
Mm.
didn't hit the mark. This me who didn't click all the boxes.
Mm.
I'm looking for how to say this to you and be gentle. Is see finish that is your problem?
Mm.
You have see
That's not
yourself
gentle.
finish.
But we did it.
There are people who do less. What did you say?
I said it's not gentle, but we need it. We need that. We need it to speak to us directly.
It's see finish. No, it's true. It's see finish that is worrying you now. Because the person you are, for lack of a better word, that you are venerating, that you are putting up there and saying, oh mighty person that has a YouTube channel, doesn't possibly spends 1 hour prepping for her YouTube channel every week. She sends
Mm.
an email, prepares. She possibly sends her videos to someone else to edit it. She possibly has an assistant you don't know about. Her assistant's face is not all over the design. I'm just giving examples. You don't know all of those things. But you who has to manually do, sorry, I'm trying to turn off these lights before it blows my main bulbs up.
Okay.
You who has to manually do everything, because you can see your own flaws, you don't give yourself credit for how much you do. And so
Hmm.
you come online comparing yourself with a Tosin who has 12,000 assistants that you don't know about. Another thing we do
Hmm.
again, when I say see finish, is that you don't even pay attention to where in your journey you are. Every time I see someone, I find what okay, they brought back the lights. Sorry. I'm trying to give you people the best electrical results I can possibly give. Okay. Every time I see someone, I look at and think, oh, this person is amazing. They did this and they
But your
did that.
network is breaking. I don't know if it's just me.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me
Can
or
you
I
hear
should?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Every time I see someone and I'm thinking, oh, this person is doing amazing. This person is this and this person is that. What I do, what I do is I end up checking how old this person is. That's the first thing I do. How old is so and so person? If you could check my search history, you will find out that every time I introduce a new name to my search history, I end up searching how old is so so person, because I'm trying to calculate how long did it take this person when they were my age to get to where they are. And some of them I end up finding 10 years difference, 15 years difference, 20 years difference. How old is this person I'm admiring? How old is this person who looks like the real deal compared to me? This person I'm looking at and not necessarily envious of. I'm looking at them and saying, oh, more. How old are they? How long did it take them? Because if I'm looking at their
Hmm.
results, if I'm looking at their
Yeah.
results and I suddenly look at myself and I feel like, I beg, you're not even doing anything, or you're not even the real deal, or your voice is not even strong in the industry, or you're not even as good as you claim to be. When they were my
Hmm.
age, did they even know what I know? There's a particular doctor of psychology that someone gave me a
Yeah.
compliment about how I sounded like that person. And I'm thinking, usual me would have been like, ah, come on, stop it. In fact, I think I did it that day. I did it. I actually did it that day. And it was my younger sister I was talking to. She just looked at me and said, you don't even know what you have.
Hmm.
She was pissed. My younger sister was pissed.
Hmm.
She just looked at me like, you don't know what you have. And she just turned. We're lying down on the bed. She just turned to the other side. Then I sent a message to
Hmm.
another of my friend, and he responded with something similar. You don't. It's something like you don't know what you have, or you don't know who you are. Something like that. It was something about me not knowing how much value. It's
Hmm.
so easy for you to look at the people you consider to have original voices, original content. How many years did it take them to develop their voice, develop their content, develop their personality, develop their opinion? You do realize it's a
Hmm.
thing to have an opinion, another thing to have the authority to voice the opinion, and the third part is
Hmm.
have enough influence for people to consider your opinion. Those are three different
Hmm.
levels of growth.
Yeah.
For you
Hmm.
to have an opinion, you must have studied other people's opinions extensively and then
Yeah.
decided that, okay, no, all of these things you people say is either I agree or I don't agree. Consider this new perspective. But you can have new
Hmm.
perspective and nobody knows you. So for
Yeah.
you to even enter the room where they will consider your perspective, that's another level of growth.
Hmm.
For example, conference, Audacity conference is coming and I'm talking on generational trauma. The first time I mentioned generational trauma, I was younger than 19. I didn't even know what I was
Hmm.
talking about. I was in front of my school gate telling someone that if you rape a woman, it affects up to her fourth generation. I didn't know. It was just a strong impression I had from reading up on rape and studying up. Then I start practicing and realize, wait, that thing I used to say is true. Okay. Then 2022, I found a course that is going to license me as a sex trauma therapist.
Wow.
Inside my course curriculum, guess what? Generational trauma is
No.
3 modules.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
was thinking, I knew this at 18, 19. I should have taken myself more seriously.
Yeah.
I knew. Now I'm beginning to work with people who want to get into relationships. They were never my target audience. But about 5 years ago, I created this thing called buying and selling points. I just created it and dumped it. In 2023, I'm like, oh, shoot, this thing is a real sociology thing.
Mm.
But I would never have said anything because I felt, oh, I'm fake. I'm using my examples so you can begin to check your own life. The third part of this, I'm rounding up. How long is this session supposed to be?
30 minutes actually. 30 minutes
Okay,
to 45. But after I might
okay,
just ask you a few questions I have in mind so that we can
okay,
talk.
okay.
Yeah.
In order to deceive others and to make fraudulent gain, the third part of this where many of us get stuck is that we start to feel like we've deceived people. And that
Mm.
brings me to the question of congruence. If you are not the same person inside that you have outside, you will have personal conflict. I did a class today on personal transformation and I was talking about congruence. If who you are inside, your value system, your proposition, your diction, how you talk to yourself, if that's not how you talk to yourself outside, you are lying. You
Mm.
are lying. Let me say it like children, liar, liar. See, I'm not changing this thing again. I'm done. I am so done. I hope you're editing your videos because these people want to ruin it for us.
No, it actually goes up straight, but it's all right.
Hey, hell, Chimo. My
Okay, they
first
brought the light
time.
back again.
No, I'm turning on my reserve.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
They brought back the light, so I said, let me give you people good quality video.
Oh, your
I should
result
have
was
left
actually
it.
good though. Yeah, it was actually good.
It's very good. It's two big bulbs.
I didn't even know when you switched.
Oh, now this bulb is not staying. Stay one place because time, precious time is going. I'm just going to turn off this one, even if they bring the lights back.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, everybody. Because what we carry inside versus what is outside is a lie. We already call ourselves liars.
Mm.
So when people look at us, we assume people see us the way we see ourselves. Again, remember see finish.
Yeah.
Because you can see yourself finish, you know you're lying. Here's an example. You know you're not confident. Instead of you to begin to ask yourself, how can I get more confident? You come outside all proud and cocky.
Mm.
Pseudo confidence is not real. If someone was to give you a compliment and reverse it or be sarcastic, you're going to come down flat.
Yeah.
You dress elaborately, you want to dress and feel like you are sexy and look, appear sexy, appear hot, appear confident. As a stylist, I know that you can look the part. I can help you look the part. But the version of me that is the therapist does not ever style people without finding out where they are.
Mm.
Because I can make you look the part does not mean you are the part or you even feel the part.
Yeah. Mm.
I did 3 posts on Instagram one time when I was saying the difference between being sexy, looking sexy, and feeling sexy. They are 3 different things. They
Mm.
are interrelated though. Being sexy is that even if you tie a wrapper and wear slippers, we will still see it. Even the wrapper is sexy to some people, but okay. Yes, so the rapper is sexy. Let me not spoil people on this channel. They are holy people. But I mean, if you are sexy, you will know it in any and every environment. Whether you travel abroad or you are in Nigeria, you feel it. When it comes to feeling sexy, it's the way you carry yourself. It shows in the way you carry yourself. That those are moments everybody feels it every once in a while. Maybe you bought new lingeries that you like, or you're in front of the mirror there, only you by yourself. You're spinning and twirling and feeling fly. No one else has to see it when you feel it. But when you look it, you are hoping that the person who is looking can see it.
Outfits, yeah.
Looking sexy is based on the eye of the person looking. It's not
Mm,
based on you who is giving it off. The
mm,
problem with looking confident and not being confident is that you are hoping that someone else will validate what you don't even feel.
mm. That's true. Mm.
So I'm going to ask you if you experience imposter syndrome. When you feel like you are deceiving people, ask yourself, why do you feel like you're deceiving people? Is there a possibility that the things you say about yourself in public and the things you say about yourself in private that they do not align? For example, you come out in public and be writing affirmations for us on Instagram. I know people who quote my affirmations sometimes, and I'm looking at them like, I hope you believe what you just read.
Mm.
I hope you believe them. Because these affirmations I wrote out that you are copying and imitating, it took many years to write out some of them. It's not the words, it's the conviction of the words. So
Yeah.
now when I churn out affirmations, I'm churning out affirmations from my overflow. I've had affirmations on my wall since I was like 17. That's
Yeah.
10 years of practice plus.
Yeah.
The things you're saying, you can come out in public and be like, I'm boss lady, hashtag this, hashtag that. Self-made, all them self-made people. I'm nobody self-made, but okay, I'm going to allow you to be self-made. I don't care what people think about me. If you don't care what we think about you, why are you telling us? No, now. Like if you don't care, just go home and sleep. There was a particular one. Every little time I go online is all the people that say they don't like my makeup. Sweetheart, I'm sure nobody spoke about your makeup today. We really don't care. The economy is the problem. No, we don't care about your makeup. There's no way we spoke about your makeup yesterday. After you insulted everybody, how can we talk about your makeup today? Are we mad?
Right.
Nobody said anything. Just tell us to acknowledge your makeup.
Yeah.
And we will. At least we will so you can give us peace. See, I'm trying not to be violent. They can't violent every once in a while.
I'm telling you. I just put it in chips on the violence. Like, calm down. What's that?
Okay, okay. That's the deceiving people. The final part is for financial gain.
Mm.
And this is the problem with good people. Is that we've been told that when you do good stuff, you're not supposed to make profit from it. So when we do the right things and some form of profitability, especially profitability that exceeds what our usual is, our financial limits and boundaries happen, we start to feel like, did they pay me wrongly?
Mm.
Do they know me? Are you sure they looked at me well? Maybe they should have given this position to someone else. Maybe you start to question and put all of these assumptions in, and you end up feeling like, I'm fake, I'm a 419er. According to Nigerians, we took that word and even add na to the back, but okay. You start to look at yourself in all forms of derogatory, you start to talk to yourself in derogatory terms. And so, even though you are in the position, you don't act like the position is yours. I'm going to end the teaching part of this with something I always say to my students during strategic visioning at the beginning of the year. I say to them, if you are in the room, you belong in the room.
Mm.
If you are in the room, you belong in the room. And I wish I knew that. I wish I knew that earlier.
Mm.
I launched out in business at 21. I was National Secretary of Young Business and Professional Women at 22, going to 23. If I had known that being in the room meant I belonged in the room. Just maybe I would have driven that office to the international because I had access to. They will pick executives, the next batch of executives, most likely from the people everybody knows the most. If I'm serving, everybody is seeing me.
Yeah.
I could have driven that position and ended up at International Federation of Young Business and International Federation of Business and Professional Women. I had the opportunity to, but my tenure ended and I vanished. It's not like I I didn't just drop my position, no, I vanished. The present set of young BPW members in Abuja cannot know me. It's that bad.
Wow.
I vanished. How did I even realize I was national president? I became secretary, national secretary rather. I became secretary in January. I joined January. So there about January, February. Anniversary is October or so. And then I saw my flyer. I saw national secretary beside it. So I sent the designer a message and said, "You people made an error. I cannot be
You
national
made mistake.
secretary.
Hmm.
I cannot be national secretary. Check that flyer again." And
Hmm.
he said, "Yes, because your community is the only established one nationally. We're just building the others." So
Wow.
I had the like I had the leverage of, you know how in business we say Red Sea, blue ocean, red ocean market.
Hmm.
I had the opportunity of first arrival
Hmm.
and first exposure. I had the opportunity of the circle being small and the place not being flooded. I had the opportunity of having a position even in that same small circle.
Yeah.
I was I was very visible, connected with the older community, and I vanished because there was a part of me that felt like I did not belong in this room. How am I in a community that has 82 years existence? At the time, IFBPW had been in existence for 82 years.
Wow.
They had a say at UN level. They
Wow.
go for UN CSW. I could have gone for CSW. I'm trying to let you see. And I don't think I've ever spoken about my BPW experience before
No, not that.
in
I've
this
never.
detail.
I've never heard it. Yeah.
People, I had that opportunity when I had not even decided which exact direction my career was going.
Hmm.
As at the time I was in BPW, I had not even decided if I was a business person fully or I was an NGO person fully. I decided I was going into business fully during Yali in September of that same year. So between Yali and me navigating business and coming to BPW was the same year.
Hmm.
I already had Yali West Africa at first application.
Wow.
I'm saying this so we know that sometimes our prayer points should not be any evil that is not letting me rise. Sometimes what you have to pray and say is, "Lord, help me see myself the way you see me."
Mm-hmm.
And I think that will be one of the best revelations you have.
Hmm.
Bible says, "We with open faces beholding as in a glass." Can I be scriptural?
Yes, please.
Okay, we with open faces beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord, we are changed into the same image. One of the best prayer points you will pray in your lifetime is that you see God,
Hmm.
that you see Him with an open face, that you see God correctly, not in the image of your trauma, your past experiences, other people's opinion, even if their opinion is correct. Other people's testimony is great. But if you see God for yourself, you will see yourself as well. I
Hmm.
can They can tell you about God, and God is all powerful and He's beautiful. But if you see God's beauty for yourself, you will see that you are beautiful.
Hmm. That's true.
So the problem with only taking other people's testimonies of God is that you take the testimony of God without seeing the testimony of you.
Hmm.
There's a vision of you that you don't see. And I know I'm talking to people of faith. It's so easy for us to just sweep these things under the carpet and be like, "Oh, it's not a big deal." It is a big deal. When you begin to experience imposter syndrome, I've given us four things. Check in with yourself. Am I really being a fraud? Or am I just used to undermining my hard work? Some of us are so used to working hard that if we are not killing ourselves, we feel like we're not doing anything. But you are. Everybody is not doing what you are doing. It took me a while. It was just 3 years ago I realized everybody didn't have 14 hours work days rather. I used to sit, I'm serious, you can vet what I'm about to say from some of my closest friends. 2018, I used to have 14-hour work days and I worked for myself.
Wow.
And it's not like clients were even paying me.
Mm.
I really started charging for my service in 2019.
Mm.
I used to have 14-hour work days. The period when I had a full-time job, I will do full-time at the office. I will come back home and I will still do my 4 hours in the night.
Wow.
It was so bad. My mom started making breakfast for me every day because my mom said that she's going to sleep and wake up one of these days and I'll have ulcer.
Mm.
I was working for myself. So when I come into the office, I can't relate. I could not relate to people being silly at the office. My boss used to allow me use her data, watch YouTube. I used to watch Juanita Bynum in the office because my boss at that time didn't used to do, the way they tell you Monday to Friday. My boss had deliverables for the week. And most times my deliverables for the week were done on Tuesday morning.
Oh.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, from Tuesday evening, I'm just flexing. I was a tech company. I was just flexing Wi-Fi, upgrading any and everything. I'm saying it so you understand that your ethics is not the problem. You are just used to suffering. You think suffering is sacrifice.
Mm.
Suffering is not sacrifice. I hope that has helped. That will be everything
It
for
really,
tonight. If you
to be honest, it really has. That thing, that experience you gave as well, like in a way I could really like. I think I was my husband. I can't remember, and I was saying like if I had leveraged on the platforms I had when I was a student, when I didn't even like really understand this relationship thing, I just knew that okay, I would advise someone and then it would actually be helpful. I would form my
mm-hmm,
opinions on books I'd read, different YouTube channels I'd watch, just sitting down and actually learning and then helping people. And the platforms
mm-hmm,
that gave me, like when I
mm-hmm.
was my 400 level, like I had opportunity to sit with VC's wife on a panel to talk to
Wow.
people about relationship and all of those things. So
Wow.
I was like, just like you said, like I also just disappeared after a while. Like I just stopped for like maybe 1, 2, 3 years. I can't remember, but I wish I knew that, like you said, if I'm in that room, I belong there. Yes, it's an opportunity.
Mm-hmm,
I'm taking advantage of it as well, not misusing it, but also
mm-hmm.
owning it with my full chest and also
Do you
leveraging.
get? Because you didn't enter there by just playing tinko tinko.
Do you get? It's not like you went there and you were babbling. You actually went there to actually speak sense, or even
Mm-hmm.
you had meaningful contribution to whatever it is that was going on. They will not bring
That's
you.
right.
God will not allow you to enter a room that you have not qualified for. You will not let you disgrace him and disgrace yourself.
No, but the thing is, even if you entered the room and you felt like you were unqualified, this scripture comes to mind that you were speaking. Your eyes will see your teachers, and he
Mm,
will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk therein." You
mm.
can never be fully qualified for a room.
Yes.
The moment you are fully qualified, it means it's time for you to enter the next room.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
That's
again, so it's not only me that wasted platform. Okay, now I feel better.
can you imagine?
It is a misery.
I
What
mean,
company?
we are so thankful of God's grace that actually pushes us to levels that we feel. I mean, sometimes I feel like even feeling that a bit not qualified is a way to let you know that, oh yeah, God did this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what I know. It might not necessarily be. It doesn't mean I don't know anything, but that's not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily what opened this door. There's that place of God's grace. Now, what's left for me to do is to prepare, show up, and then show the glory of God.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that
Mm-hmm.
sometimes feeling that way is a way to let you stay humble, but not in a derogatory way to now, let it relax you, feel like you're unworthy. No, God has made you worthy, and
Mm-mm.
that's why I opened that door. So thank God, bask in it, and then do what is required of you. And I just want to ask this question, because sometimes we don't realize these things when you are experiencing it. A lot of people have
Mm-hmm.
experienced imposter syndrome that they don't even know that is what they're experiencing. So I just wanted us to
True.
touch vividly. What are some of the signs that you might see that could just be like a signal to you to let you know that, oh wait, I hope this is not imposter syndrome I'm experiencing. That will make you like take like 1-2 steps back to rethink, to now assess the situation, to actually know what you're going through.
Okay. I would say pay attention to when success comes.
Mm.
Imposter syndrome doesn't necessarily come, like most times. It doesn't come when you're failing. It comes when you're succeeding. You start to explain away the success. No, the success was not such a big deal. Good regular one that we all do is when you tell a lady she's beautiful, you give her a good compliment. I saw a tweet recently, a very interesting tweet that I could relate with. The guy said something about how get where they bust your head, go they feel like say she no fine.
Mm.
And everybody started to give all forms of suggestions. Some were laughing, some ladies were commenting, some other guys were talking about how they've seen something similar. And it's true. I do
Yeah.
it even with guys. I said something like hi handsome, and you literally watch this full grown man shrinking like stop it, it cannot be true. It happens with ladies as well. When people give you compliments, what's your first response? Do you deflect or do you accept it? I was in a coaching program recently, and this scripture by Jesus was used. I don't think I'd ever processed it like that. Jesus said, believe in God, believe also in me.
Mm.
Do you have the courage to tell people to believe in you?
Mm.
Because you must have believed in yourself
Yeah.
for you to now say, believe in me. Like I am what you believe.
Mm.
When compliments come, when success comes, what do you do with the success? Do you accept it? Or you're like, I beg, it's not a big deal.
Mm.
This year is the first year I'm deciding to celebrate my birthday, have a birthday party in my life. I ordered my first birthday cake at 24, and it was almost as if they put gun on my head. My mother sent me money for the cake, I ate it. My auntie now sent me money to buy three-step cake. I was like, at this point, I have no backup plan. I think it was my 25th birthday. My friend had to send me money from UK and say, this is, what dress do you want? I said, I want a red dress. She sent me the money, so I had no option than to buy the dress. Then another of my friend was like, listen, I'm taking you out. When my third friend heard Lisa was going out for his birthday, he was like, see, let's just go now and buy her something. This one, she came out. Is that bad? I can't remember a birthday from my 16th birthday where my mother's friends were not the only audience. I don't celebrate my birthday. I always used to tell myself, oh, I want to build something on my birthday. I'm always launching something. I'm always doing something. Auntie, can you just stay alive and be happy that you're alive?
Yeah.
I know you want to make impact, but rest. My Igbo people say zukwanike. Life is not that hard. Enjoy your success.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You get an award, bask in it, like Tosin said, enjoy it. When you begin to find yourself deflect your success points, there's an issue.
Mm.
When you begin to find yourself deflecting your celebration,
Mm.
I don't postpone the celebration. You know how most people say, I'll be happy when I get to. No, that's not my own problem. Oh. My own problem is that the celebration will just come and I'll be like, it has happened. I've slept on my birthday. There are birthdays I've not taken my baths. I just decided I was just acting like one stupid girl in the house. I have forgotten my own birthday before. Like I remembered in the night, I woke up in the morning, I forgot it was my This is me who never forgets any other person's birthday. Like my head is a literal birthday calendar. I met someone yesterday and he mentioned his birthday. I said, I know nobody with that birthday. His birthday instantly fits in, even though we will not be friends, possibly. A total stranger. The moment he mentioned his birthday, I was already thinking, okay, nobody's in that slot.
Mm.
And I woke up and forgot my own birthday.
Mm.
Because in my head, at that point in my life, responsibility was such a big thing that even when the responsibility was no longer needed,
Mm.
pay attention to the things you call responsibility and the things you call sacrifice. God told me, was it this year or last year? He says, you're not sacrificing, you're just suffering. It's not
Hi.
sacrifice, it's suffering. Know when the sacrifice is over. Yes, you have to do 14-hour week to finish a project. The project has finished. Rest.
Mm.
Let your body know that we are not in pressure mode anymore. Let yourself experience it. Finally, there was something I wanted to say regarding this whole celebrating. Yes, it was a documentary my admin sent to me, one of those very intensive documentaries she sent. And there was a conversation going on, and the man asked the woman, said, how do you celebrate? She said, I sleep. In my head, I'm like, what else do people do? You sleep as an adult. You sleep. And the guy said, if I go to a birthday party and we slept, that will not be a party.
Yeah.
So why do we sleep when it's time for our own celebration?
But tired.
So why must you walk until you are tired?
True.
If it was someone else who had that party, you might not be in the mood. If you're like me, like I enjoy being outside. As I'm talking to you like this, I can talk for another 7 hours if I'm teaching. But when I'm done, I don't even want to see your face. Don't greet me. I'm spent. I come home and I don't want to talk to anybody. If my fan makes noise, I will off it. I want. I'm serious. When I enter my silent mode, guy, my house sounds like a graveyard.
Mm.
Somebody's biro can fall and I'll shout, "What is that?" The way it is sounded is too much. Control. Why's your phone vibrating like that? Control it.
Mm.
Why are you breathing like that? It's too loud. Just keep quiet. I enjoy my loud moments, but I also enjoy my quiet moments. But here's the interesting thing. People can still drag me successfully to attend events.
Mm.
So why will I not enjoy one that is in honor of me?
Mm.
Just one in 365 days.
Mm.
Just one. As
Yeah.
I'm talking to some of you right now, you don't even have a photo of yourself, a standard studio photo of yourself. I'm not saying go and do birthday shoot. You've not even created just that small chekere moment
Mm.
to just even take an amazing picture of you.
Yeah.
You're in your 20s, your late 20s, your early 30s, your late 30s. You have no picture of the last 10 years of your life, no documentation of yourself, but you've been doing this crazy work and you won't even look back and see how far you've come. That's how you know you're experiencing imposter syndrome. The way you
Mm.
deflect your successes and
Mm.
your celebrations.
Mm. Mm. That is so profound. And the sad thing I just want to add is that sometimes the sad thing is that some of us don't even think about those moments. Like when it happens, is
Mhm.
oh okay, this is done on to the next one. We actually don't take time to go through that moment. And I'm so guilty of that. Like sometimes I'm praying for something to happen, I'm working towards something happening. And then when it happens, I'm like, oh yeah, thank you, Jesus. On to the next one. I actually don't live in that moment, you know. It just feels like, oh yeah, this one has come, done and dusted, tick the box, let's go to the next big thing. And it's such a bad thing. Like it's such a bad thing that I actually like want to stop doing. I actually take time to is it a movie that says this thing? I can't remember. But if you don't know what makes something work, when it doesn't work, you wouldn't know what it is that went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Actually take
True.
time. Okay, yeah, so we achieved this. How did that happen? What did I do? What was the new thing that we added? Just to take time to actually think
Mm-hmm.
about the processes, how we got here. And sometimes that's
Mm-hmm.
also why some of us don't celebrate what stage it is we are, or we have imposter syndrome, because we actually don't think about the process we went through. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
remember the hard work. Like Elizabeth said, you cannot remember the 40 hours that she's putting in into the work. But because you probably see somebody else maybe has maybe better aesthetics or something better, you start to feel like you're not doing enough, and then you now
They
start
paid me
putting.
100K and I felt like it was a gift that same year. They paid me 100K for a project. And the money entered my account. I was like, did they
Say
mistakenly
that
pay me?
money.
They were supposed to send me 300K to pay 30 people. And then 100K came in. And I honestly thought it was first installment for those people.
Hmm.
Do you know that 100K as my pay? I will be honest on this show. It took me like 2 years to process it.
Hmm.
100K. When the money came in, so that I'll be sure what I'm doing with my life, I first of all transferred like 70 something% to my lawyer to register my business first. Before I'll sleep and wake up and I don't know what I'm doing with this money.
Hmm.
I Today is not the day for this conversation. Another day, another time. We will talk about celebrating. We will talk about celebrating baby steps. One of
Hmm.
the things I want you to do is break down your process,
Hmm.
because many of us do this big process thing. Is okay, so the way we're planning, I'm planning Audacity conference now. I'll now say, oh, there's no Audacity conference until October 7th in the night. Really?
Hmm.
We've been planning Audacity since like November last year.
Hmm.
I don't think my head has processed 30% of anything else this year aside that conference. If I had eaten, dressed up, every single thing has had a touch of Audacity conference. It would be disrespectful of my time, my person, my energy, my prayer life, everything, to assume that I have no successes until Audacity conference happens October 5th to 7th. Do you know how many web pages alone we built for that conference?
Hmm.
Last week alone, we had to build the dollar version. Do you
Hmm.
know how much work that is? They just sent me countdown flyers yesterday, about 12 of them, and there was an error, and the whole team went back to fixing it. That we got those flyers right is worth celebrating. Tomorrow, Seth, I should not wake up early in the morning. People should not stress me.
Hmm.
Because I'm done. I'm
Hmm.
so
Yeah,
done.
so when that sick conference is come, what I just will permit you to sleep a little longer. Otherwise, wake up and let's finish this work. Sleep longer,
Oh,
small.
goodness.
After that, get up.
All the times I used to tell myself I was sleeping, that's the day I wake up at 4. What's that my alarm self? 4:55, 3:55. My body will just wake up. Heck, how far you? I thought we said we're sleeping in. Why you a betrayer like this?
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Elizabeth. Like even I have had like eye openers, and I have also to like actually take time to sit, think, write down things and actually do them intentionally. Otherwise we'll just keep rolling and rolling in this, and you will not realize it. You get to a certain age and feel like you've never achieved anything in your life. Meanwhile, you have done a lot that you just refused to acknowledge and celebrate. And I'm just so
Mm-hmm.
thankful that you came on the channel today. Thank you for sharing in your knowledge of wisdom. And I like that you've already said it, that another time, another session, we're going to be talking about celebrating the small wins. So the only favor I'm doing you is to schedule that date.
Wow.
Yeah,
Please, if there's
that's
no juice or no meat pie, I'm not interested.
I'll snap the picture to you. I'll do that.
No. They sent me, I ate one meat pie yesterday that went to Harvard.
Are you serious?
I feel
Did
like praying
someone
for the
make it?
chef.
Oh
Someone made
wow.
it. Oh, that meat pie went to Harvard. I'm going to be talking about it for the next few weeks.
Please don't talk about this too much. I'm gonna be thinking about how to eat meat pie now.
I'll send you the picture too. Very good. Tit for
Wow.
tat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
sis.
much, sis. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. Make sure you join us next week as well. Same time, same place, 7 p.m. Tomorrow, I'm going to be having Tumininu next week. And we're just going to talk about, dating God's way, and just an awesome session as well that I'm looking forward to. It's going to be a lot of laughter, a lot of Rema, and a lot of just conversations here and there. And I hope that you'll be there. Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely week. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Have a lovely, lovely week. And all the
You
best.
too.
Well done on all the work. Bye,
Thank you.
sis.
Bye.